Disclaimer, this is not a serious review. Tyco cars were harmed during the making of this video, and I don't give a Yo, it's Rex the Rail Fanner, your local Tyco demolition expert, back at it again with another legit review. Today we're going to be looking at the HO scale B36-7 in the CSX Patched Conrail scheme from Rapido. I started filming this in September 2020, and it's been delayed long enough, so let's get right into it. The Rapido B36 has an MSRP price tag of $339.95, but don't worry, no one actually pays that price. I got mine with decency and sound for the actual price of $279.99 off of trainwheel.com.
I don't get paid enough for this.
The locomotive comes in a premium cardboard box with a nice Santa Fe B36 picture printed on it. Inside the box are some extra detail parts, an exploded view drawing sheet, consumerism, and of course the Rapido manual. This is one of my favorite parts of the entire package. That's right, I like some pieces of paper more than the $250 engine I just purchased. First of all, the manual is stylized to look exactly like a General Electric locomotive manual, and that's quite a nice touch. Additionally, while being very informative about the prototype, DC function, and warranty information, the writing in here is absolutely hilarious. Look, they even have a line telling you not to run anything made by Tyco with your B36. Sorry, Tyco fanboys.
But my pulpwood car. What am I gonna do if I can't run my Tyco pulpwood car on my B36? Nah, screw it.
Anyway, on to the rest of the contents. Under all the paperwork is a foam sheet which covers the model. The model is surrounded by foam and is in a two-piece plastic cradle, with foam protecting the handrails and plastic protecting the wheels. Be careful, as these plastic pieces have a tendency to get stuck on the wheels, like a transit fan refusing to leave a subway excursion. But you can easily remove them, just like this MTA worker removed the transit fan. As a side note, when I first opened the box after receiving it, nearly all the pieces of foam were out of place. I'm gonna assume that's from rough handling during shipping and not Rapido's fault, because we all know how USPS handles packages.
Ugh, I hate my job. Good enough for me!
Are you a psychopath that exclusively runs prototypical trains on their layout? Well, it's your lucky day, as we're going to go over the prototypical era to run this locomotive. Yay! I don't care. Considering CSX's B36 fleet was retired by 2005, and most now serve in on narrow gauge mining railroads, the correct era to run this thing would be between 1999 and 2005. But do what you want. If you want to run this thing with a 1900s Climax locomotive, or even the Shell steam engine, go right ahead. It'll make the rivet counters very angry. So how does the model match up to its real-life counterpart? Well, it's nearly spot on. From the few prototype pictures I found at 5790, it seems that all the Conrail-specific details are all accurately displayed on the model. There are extra mirrors and an MU cable present on the prototype but not the model. But fear not, as Rapido included both of these details in the bag I mentioned earlier. Am I gonna put them on? No, they'll sit in the box forever. Let's take a closer look at the paint and detail on the model. To start, the Conrail blue paint looks sharp and does not obscure any of the rivet details. The handrails are made of a flexible plastic while also being perfectly straight and upright, which I like. Inside the cab is a control stand and seating. But looking outside, we can see that portions of the windows are blocked out by part of the control stand, including nearly half of the engineer's window. How's the engineer gonna see anything ahead of him with this blockage?
Hey guys, I'm in New York City just hanging out.
Luckily, it's not very noticeable by just casually looking at it, but it gets pretty annoying when you finally notice it. This seems to be a common issue with the Rapido B36s, so hopefully they fix it on the next one. Ah! Other than that issue, the model looks fantastic. Some of the details I personally enjoy are the finishing on the number boards, operational class and dish lights, and the actual brake chain on the trucks, as well as a long-ass list of details I'm not going to waste your time with. But in short, the B36 looks great.
so I'm taking 5 points.
The B36 may be an amazingly detailed model, but how does it operate? I didn't pay $280 for this thing and just let it sit around after all, unlike some psychopaths who just display them. So before we run it, let's do some preliminary checks that every sane person totally does. First, we'll check
the coupler height! As we know, coupler height is one of the most important things. Now, the coupler on the BN is actually high because it's bent upwards, but honestly, that's not really a big issue because that stuff really doesn't affect operations as much as a lot of model railroaders say. So it doesn't matter.
Absolutely unacceptable!
Who the hell said that? What the?
It is high coupler inspectors have been due on. I have come because of your high coupler!
Yeah, I guess, but that's not really a big deal.
Nonsense! A high coupler is a disastrous issue and it must be exterminated immediately!
Whoa, please, put that gun away! Holy shit!
My work here is done. Good day, sir.
Whew. That's a lot of damage. Oh, the engine's actually fine. I replaced it with a Tyco car at the last minute.
The B36 is equipped with a Locksound 5.0 decoder, the best kind. I am using an NCE power cab for the DCC functions. The number boards will light up when given track power. F8 starts up the engine. Listen to those amazing sounds. F0 activates the headlights. F6 activates the ditch lights. These are both directional. F7 dims the headlight, which will turn off the ditch lights as well, in order to not blind other engineers. But why would you need to use that? The windows are blocked anyway. F11 activates the marker lights. Out of the box, these will activate in the opposite direction of travel, which is stupid! But if you're in the upper 1% and you own a lock programmer, you can change this. I just use my club's lock programmer. But that's besides the point. F2 activates the RS3L horn. Oops, wrong horn. F2 sounds the RS3L horn. F1 rings the steel bell. The ditch lights will flash when the horn is sounded. F5 sounds the Doppler horn sequence, which changes based on what horn is selected. In my opinion, the RS3L1 kinda sucks, because it barely sounds like the F2 horn recording on the model. Also, this function is sort of bugged on my model, as the ditch lights will continuously flash after pressing F5 until the function is pressed again. But hey, maybe this glitch isn't all bad. Maybe it'll help me improve my time on my B36 function speed run. F9 activates the full throttle feature, which stopped working on my model a while ago. It's supposed to increase or decrease the throttle sounds based on if you're moving or not, but right now, the only thing it's increasing is my urge to throw a Tyco car at the wall. Actually, operating the locomotive is great. The motors have good speed control and are silent. The sound quality is awesome. When I was first running the locomotive, I felt like I was listening to an actual GE locomotive. While there are a few minor kinks with the operational aspect, overall this locomotive runs and sounds great. Unless you're running it from inside the cab. This model is one of the best I've ever owned. Details and paint look awesome. It runs well and sounds great too. However, it has a few stupid issues that knock it down a few pegs. But overall, it is a great value for your money. Great job, Rapido. You did a good job with this model and bullying the Tyco fanbase. This is Rex the Railfanner, signing out.